Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the European Esports Championship. We are here for the season finale. It all comes down to this at the Silverstone Grand Prix, of course, for the British Grand Prix at the Silverstone International Circuit. My name is James Head. I'm going to be taking the stream, albeit a little bit croaky, a little bit fluey at the minute. Hopefully, it'll be fine as we go through the stream. Joining me, though, to spare my blushes, certainly, it is the Welshman amongst us. It is Mr. Michael Edwards. Mike, how you doing?
I am doing great, James. I cannot wait for this race. We're at the home of British Motorsport. We're at Silverstone, and my God, it can't get any tighter going at this final round, can it?
Definitely not. And even the cat, I think, is the fan of the background. Possibly the fan of Team England going into tonight, getting bottom place, potentially by default. Finland not obviously making it here tonight. But what we will do is run through what happened last week. Daniel Kelton taking a second week in a second race win, even in a row in Belgium. All at the expense of some pretty hard racing in the final couple of laps of the race, and that spin, of course, that we had from, I think it was Primoz, if I'm not mistaken. Flopman in the end finishing second. Julian Klaffenbach on his debut finishing in third. Didn't do too badly at all. Looking at the standings, 6 teams, as I make it, can win tonight. All the way down to Slovenia. So Netherlands out on top, 129 points. France in second on 123. Norway third on 120. There's no way they're going to be winning. Romania in fourth at 112. Italy fifth on 98. And then Slovenia in sixth on 80. They are the only 6 teams, I believe, in mathematical contention that can actually still wrap up the championship, even with the fastest lap point and everything available. Germany in 7th on 59. They've got a good chance potentially to get in towards 3rd, 4th, 5th, around that ballpark, I would think. Austria there in 8th on 38. Then Finland, who are not showing up tonight, in 9th on 31. And England in 10th on 23. Now, knowing England, hopefully they can actually finish a race, unlike the last couple of weeks with Kieran Humphries and Tom at the helm. But Mike, coming into tonight, Netherlands out on top, France second, Norway third, 9 points separating the top 3 nations. Going to be very close tonight.
Yeah, incredibly close, and especially considering Norway are fielding Daniel Kelton, who has won the last 2 races as well. So you got to put him up there within a shout of winning this race also, just based on recent form.
Yeah, Hazara's not a too bad. It's not a one-trick pony either. He's certainly going to be right up there, I'm sure, for Team Norway as well. Daniel Kelton and Hazara are the 2 that are representing, of course, Team Norway. Then we've got a little bit of a controversial lineup for France. Louis Valentin and Lilian Dervacourt. Lilian, of course, has been doing the rounds on X and with Race Clutch and all of that drama and everything. What we can say, though, for definitive, he's here tonight. He's racing, and let's hope he proves everyone wrong, because that will be the biggest icing on the cake that I think I've seen in sim racing. So good luck to him, and good luck to all of the drivers, of course, racing out on track tonight. Keen Goydendorp and Taitja Hardy are representing Team Netherlands, and it's Sergio and Erpek. Interesting lineup, I've got to say, for Italy. Erpek coming in for the first time. Then Bradley Holdham and Harry Nuns. Harry's been doing the rounds a little bit for his cheating allegations a couple of weeks ago. Yes, he thought we forgot about that. I definitely don't forget about things like that. Team Slovenia, who are actually not in the lobby at the minute, which might spare our blushes in terms of pronunciations. Maj Krishnik and Tilen Schmidt is in for Slovenia. Again, if I've butchered that, I apologise. Julian Klaffenbach and Patrick Dachmeyer in for Team Austria. Then it gets a little bit easier with Nico Benz and Max Wissel. Of course, TF10 Grandpa to the PC guys, and Tudi and Bogdan Moldovan in for Team Romania as well. Coming into tonight, though, Mike, looking at that lineup, yes, we've got that little bit of controversy with Lilian. We've got Harry Nuns, who we know has cheated in the past as well. But what we can definitively say, this is possibly one of the strongest lineups, I think, that we've had all season, and possibly one of the most wide open as well.
Yeah, and it's just going to make that championship battle even more spicy, of course. Silverstone, I think, is a track that pretty much, it doesn't matter what tier of racing that you're in, everyone knows that track like the back of their hands at this point.
And I have actually just spied a very rogue name that I have just seen in the lobby, who's not actually on that graphic. I think Team Italy might have had a change-up, because I spy one Mirko Soriano in the lobby. Interesting.
That is very interesting. Who has Murgle?
And Brandox is in, I think, as well, if I'm not mistaken. Brandox is in along with Mirko Soriano. So I think Team Italy have changed their
Yeah, both
lineup.
Italy.
I haven't seen a change up in terms of a lineup graphic or anything, but it looks like Team Italy have literally just come through with a change. In fact, they changed it so long ago that I didn't even see it. So it's my fault. I didn't even see this. Mirko Soriano in along with Brandux replacing Sergio and Urpek. There we go. Not getting confused. Sergio and Urpek are not racing. Mirko Soriano and Brandux are. And that actually adds a very high-profile name in Mirko Soriano, Ferrari Esports driver, of course, and Brandux, who again is no one-trick pony. Team Italy are here and here to cook.
Yeah, and that is a strong lineup from Team Italy. And of course, I mean, they're 31 points off the top. It might seem like a large gap, but in the European Esports Championship, I believe there's a maximum of 56 points available if you get a 1-2 finish with the fastest lap. So mathematically, it is still possible.
It is still possible, yeah. 56 points, as I say. That's why Team Germany is currently out of the running in terms of the standings as well. Looks like we've got both of the Slovenians in. Mr. Schmidt and Mr. Krishnik there is in the chat. And hopefully you're going to be racing and hopefully you're going to be performing well as well, taking over, of course, the reins from Primoz Maklavčić in the last couple of weeks as well. But hopefully you're going to enjoy the stream. Hopefully you don't get any comments saying, oh, he's cheating, well, we're not taking it that seriously. We do definitely take it seriously. It's already been confirmed to us, by the way, if Lillian is proved to be cheating, which I know Race Clutch have defended the allegations against him, and I will say and I will stress it is allegations against him, but with those allegations against him, this is the perfect time, I think, Mike, to actually get us to prove not only us wrong, to prove you guys at home wrong, but to prove everyone wrong. And I really hope he can do that tonight and show why he really means business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is something that we all would like to see because obviously in terms of controversy in terms of this game, for example, like it's just been absolute madness with the cheating accusations and that we've seen like over the course of this game cycle in particular.
Yeah, definitely. So looking at the chat, by the way, there is a poll going on right now. So if you do want to get your vote in, you can do. Looks like there might be a glitch though potentially with the polling on my end because at 0%. And it's been up for 43 minutes, so I think the poll might not be working. I've just put a vote in for Team Netherlands, so if you want my vote, I'm going to go Team Netherlands. I think they've got the strongest lineup, personally, here tonight. And looking at the grid, looking at as we go into the lobby, we have got beautiful blue skies and sunshine, which is exactly what we ordered. Not the -4 degrees that we got here in the north of England right now.
I was going to say, this weather doesn't seem very British to me. Actually, you know, there's a little bit of cloud coverage. Yeah, a bit of condensation in the air. Actually, no, I take it back. It's very, very British.
It is very British. It's like a 40-degree day in the heat of summer where you're just sitting on Wembley Park and places like that and just enjoying life. And yeah, well, I think we remember those days. Some of us do anyways up here in the north of England. But we are on board with Mr. TF10 Grandpa, who's going to be one of the first out on track. Of course, Max Vissel. Max, of course, has been a part of PSGL, PSF1 in the past as well. I think he's currently in PCF2, if I'm not mistaken, in PSGL. It looks like he's going to be one of the first out on track, along with Daniel Keltsen, who, of course, won the last 2 races, in fact, in Italy and indeed last week in Belgium. And then we've got a whole host of other drivers, including Keegan Goydendorp throwing into the mix. Bradley Holden on his day, very, very strong. Tyja Hardy in there as well. Going to be a fascinating, and I think we're going to see one of the closest qualifying sessions of the season by far.
Yeah, and speaking of qualifying, what times are you predicting for a pole time here in qualifying? Because I think, I mean, we're going to get in the 25s, like that's for certain. Will we see enough people in the 24s?
Potentially so. I think we're going to see maybe a low-level 25, maybe like a 25-1, 25-2, somewhere in terms of that. But hopefully we get to see some really good action out on track, and hopefully the drivers can prove me wrong in terms of my predictions and in terms of how everything is going to go tonight as well. Currently haven't got on the track, by the way, Lillian Derbacourt, who's actually just came out on track. Will go on board with his lap very soon. We will ride on board, though, and I'm going to pick and choose of who we're going to go on board with. I am going to go on board we may as well stick on board with the Max Vissel. They're in first position right now. Hasn't set a lap time on the board. If you're just tuning in, this is the European Esports Championship. It's round number 5. It's a season finale. It is Britain. As you can tell, my voice is going. My name is James Head, and Mike Edwards is alongside me in the commentary box for this one. And let's run on board then with a lap of Max Vissel around the Silverstone International Circuit. Not the first time you see a German driving around a British track either, as we come now down the hill in towards turn number 1 at Abbey, then in towards turn 2 at Farm, and then in toward the first real test of the track, and it is Village at turn number 3. Now coming in toward the left-hander at turn number 4 at the loop. Before people forget this corner, Aintree at turn number 5. Aintree, of course, playing host to the Grand National these days. Used to play host to the the British Grand Prix in the 1980s. As Grandpa now comes down into the left-hander of Brooklands, 26.9 in that first sector, looking very competitive indeed from the German. Now comes through the right-hander of Luffield and embarked now on the old pit straight. Through Woodcut we go. In towards Cop's corner, the old turn 1, we're right on board with him as we go now through. Pretty much taken flat out, very high, 8th gear actually taken through there. I tend to drop down to 7th and then gear back up into 8th. Now for the flat section of Maggots and Beckett. And then in towards Chapel and the Hanger Straight will be the middle sector split. And Grandpa looking very good indeed. Max Vissel 101.5 in that middle sector. Of course, times will go down as the night progresses. We'll see what he can do as now Max Vissel comes in toward the right-hander of Stowe corner at turn 15. Got a bit of traffic to defend off here. That's one of the Team French cards, I think, just getting out of the way. Is now Max Vissel embarks through the final corner, through Vale and in towards Club corner, back onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. Louis Valentine goes quickest. Max Vissel, though, blows him completely to smithereens and goes 4/10 quicker.
Well, I mean, we asked will we see many people in the 24s. We're in the 24s immediately. Can we get anyone in the 23s? That's going to be the big question, though.
Keen Gordon's just invalidated, I think, through the final corner. He was looking very good. 24.573 would have been. Tycher Hardy, though, to his... I can't even get my words out. Tycher Hardy goes quickest. Max Vissel second. Daniel Kelton there in third. Bradley Holdham off the pace there down in 7th. Julian Klaffenbach, who was on the podium last week as well, coming out through the final corner. Fabi Marksteiner in the chat, certainly supporting him. He goes 11th, but he invalidated his lap time. Mirko Soriano, the Ferrari Esports man now, coming in toward the final corner for Team Italy with their changed lineup. Mirko Soriano goes 5th behind Bogdan Moldova. Not a bad lap there at all from him. Man of the moment right now, and Lillian Durbancourt is on a lap right now, coming in toward the right-hander of Cop's corner. Let's run on board with them, coming through this middle sector split. Tycher Hardy out on top, Max Vissel second, Daniel Kelton in third. Middle sector, by the way, 101.5. Remember, the quickest middle sector we've seen on board with Lillian Durbancourt through the middle sector. 101.7. I can definitely say without a shadow of doubt, judging by his middle sector there and getting a bit of slipstream as well, I don't think he's cheating right now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously middle sector, a couple of times off of Tycho Hardy at the top, but that slipstream definitely could help as we come across the line now with Lillian, and it's going to be 24.6.
Yeah, that's a bit more like it. Obviously, he did very well in PC F1, I think it was WR, if I'm not mistaken, where he actually set pole position and obviously got that scrutiny and all of that kicked off with Race Clutch. But he's there in 4th. Daniel Kelton, TF10 Grandpa, Max Vissel, and Tycher Hardy ahead of him. Very good names, I've got to say, to have ahead of him. And it looked like, obviously, he used that slipstream up. It looked like he made a mistake coming through that middle sector split, so it'll be interesting to see how quick he is going to be in terms of comparison, in terms of delta time as he goes forward. We've got Julian Klaffenbach, I think, coming back in the pit lane, along with Azara, who's just backed off a lap 15th for a 125.424. But Tycher Hardy out on top, about a second covering the top 15 as well. Tycher Hardy on top, Grandpa there in second, and Max Vissel. I will call him Grandpa, quite literally, in this stream, as we go through. And Daniel Kelton there in third, Lillian in 4th, and Bogdan Moldova there in 5th. And a name like Mirko Soriano, actually, Mike, coming into this. 6th position for him. I'm not beating around the bush, but I'd say that's a little disappointing.
I mean, we can say let's call it disappointing, but we gotta remember this is the first laps. It's just about getting your eye in on the track immediately, like on your first runs. I'm sure as the session goes on, we'll see a lot more improvement from the likes of Mirko Soriano.
Oh, Julian Klaffenbach has been disqualified for the wrong way. He ran out of fuel. I think he's missed the pit lane as well. in all of that. I'm not sure what happened with him. He's been disqualified from the session, didn't get a lap time on the board. His car now is glitching all over the place. It will get removed, I'm sure, off the track. But Julian Klaffenbach was facing the wrong way on the other side of the pit lane as I rode on board with him and has got disqualified for actually going the wrong way. Unfortunate for the Australian, Fabian Marksteiner, you are getting hunted down in the morning, my friend.
Australia?
The what?
You said Australian then.
Australian? No, the Austrian. The Austrian's going to get hunted down in the morning.
I was going to say, Australia, when did they apply for the EU?
Well, they're in Eurovision. They may as well apply for running in the European Esports Championship.
Honestly, I can't fault it. I can't fault it.
Well, there's a lot of Australian outpats there for Rising Lions. Maybe we can get a team together, maybe for the next renewal of that, of course. EML, by the way, Season 6 sign-ups are still live, by the way, if you do want to tune in. It is a week next it's this time next week that it all closes down in terms of the sign-ups. So get your sign-ups in. PC and PS sign-ups are available. And I think we've got, in comparison, 29 sign-ups, I think, right now, which... On the PS side, I think we've got about 20 of them, which is phenomenal. Madge Krasnik, by the way, is making a complete mockery, coming out of Brooklands and running all over the place as he now comes through the right-hander, coming out of Lovefield, all over the shop. He is the Slovenian in 17. But looking through, so far so good in terms of the lobby, so far so good in terms of the stream as well. And those sign-ups, of course, 29 sign-ups so far between PC and PS, I think is absolutely phenomenal and just shows the testament of the event that this actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we cannot wait for the Esports Masters League to get back underway as Bogdan Moldovan has just begun his second flying lap now, coming into Village, breaking down fourth gear, the gear of choice there for Bogdan. Now, me personally, I like to drop it down into third momentarily, then short shift back into fourth, but that's probably why I'm a lot slower.
Yeah, Mr. Montana as well, Mr. NSX Montana, the ABS GOAT of the century. He uses second gear coming out of there as well. So, yeah, I can see why I'd certainly take third gear coming through there. So you're not alone on that one, Mike. As Bogdan comes through the first sector split, he's down by 300ths of a second, but he is getting a bit of slipstream from his teammates in front of him. Now coming in toward the right-hander of Cops Corner. I think they're going to carry this all the way toward the entrance into Maggots and Beckett. Threw off the dirty air slightly coming through Cops. But it's looking very good. Gets out of the way, does Tootie. And now Bogdan sets his sights on Maggots and Beckett. Coming now in towards Beckett's corner. Turn 14 even. Running now down straight in towards turn 15 at Stowe. And he's a 101.5, 300s up in that middle sector. But I'd say, honestly, he's a little bit behind the cosh in terms of this lap. As the cloud begins to build over the circuit, the sort of soft compounder tyres might not necessarily work as to how the track is going to be progressing throughout the session. But Archie Hardy out on top, Max Vissel second, Daniel Kelton third. Where's Bogdan Moldovan going with this lap? He goes third and ahead of Daniel Kelton, who is not responding in that first sector, but is about to get a lot of juicy slipstream coming down the Wellington straight as Max Vissel goes quickest with a 24.2.
Yeah, and Daniel Kelson, small improvements in the middle sector as gets a slipstream now in towards Stowe. Nice tight line through there, keeping it all valid as we head now into Vale and, of course, the club. Daniel Kelson, back-to-back race winner, looking to make it 3 in a row. Gets a bit of a wiggle on there through the Vale chicane. And, yeah, it cost it right there. That one mistake.
It did indeed, yeah, really cost him. Taja Hardy's on the lap and he's looking very good through that first sector. Now in toward the middle sector split. Taja Hardy, 1600 up. Purple out of everyone apparently in the middle sector. I believe he's 200 up on what Max Vissel was setting previously. Not getting any slipstream, so not actually negating the advantage of the slipstream around here, which of course is allowed in the EEC event. Taja Hardy though now coming in toward Bale Club for the penultimate time potentially on this run. Taja Hardy now on the run still on the PSF1 champion, 24.4, 100th of a second improvement. Disappointing from their perspective. Louis Valentine's backed off his lap. Lillian Durbacord hasn't though. He's flying now, coming in towards Maggots and Beckett. He's going to get a bit of slipstream as well from the man of Louis Valentine ahead of him. Runs wide coming through Cop's corner there. Now in towards the middle sector, 600 up, getting a bit of slipstream. I think he's been put on the back foot though, just by that wide curve coming through Maggots and Beckett.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
and he
just a
loses
little
it.
bit wide, and oh, big snap through Stowe. And that is the lap completely thrown out the window there for Ian, but there's still enough time to get another run in.
As Kean Gordondorp has been given a 5-second penalty for illegal blocking on his own teammate, which is unbelievable. If you can continue, Mike, I've got an ice cube in my mouth.
Yep, absolutely. Currently on board with. We on board with. We're gonna go on board with someone who is on a flying lap right now. I think Patrick is on a flying lap. No, actually, Patrick is not. So we'll go on board with Marge, who is about to get his lap underway, coming through a club right now, getting good traction to begin as we head down in towards Abbey. Turn number 1, flat out through the 8th gear as we go through farm now. The first braking zone at Village. 4th gear, the gear of choice there for March, and didn't look very comfortable coming through Village here, and that of course affected the approach into Loop, and of course now through Ontree and on to the Wellington Straight. Down in towards Brooklyn. So let's see what the first sector split is saying. It's a 27.3, so a bit off in terms of the first sector split, but you can definitely see that March is just not comfortable in that first sector at all.
I had to chew all of that ice cube, by the way, in the first sector, just because I knew you were going to hand over to me. But Madge is off in the first sector. I totally agree with you. He's definitely off in this first sector, and he's ran wide coming through Cup's corner as well. That's going to put him now completely on the back foot. Maybe not necessarily got the practice in, as one would imagine, but when Team Slovenia are in that title fight, they're in the top 6 coming into tonight. You would have thought they would have put one of their strongest lineups. 102.4 in the middle sector. I'm not being funny. I could probably go a little bit quicker through that middle sector. As Madge now comes through into the right-hander of Stowe, again, with a little bit of a lesser practice, unless his setup is completely wrong, and he's put the wrong setup on. I think he's got a lack of practice, and that's what it's all coming down to, I think, for him. Now coming through the final corner for Madge, on the run to the line, going to be slowest out of everyone, 25.7. It's not dire by any stretch of the imagination, but he's 3/10 off Hazara, who will never see him improve. He's 6/10 off his own teammate. Harry Nuns is there in 14th, so he's within range as well. It's not all doom and gloom, but personally, a 25.7 in this caliber of field, not going to cut it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next person who will begin the lap is Bradley Holdham for Team England. Of course, Team England down in last place right now. Obviously, no Finland here. Big opportunity for them to get themselves off the bottom of the table. And with Julian Klaffenbach out of qualifying already, an opportunity to maybe close up on Austria in the race as well.
Primoz, by the way, has just came in and said that Madge is running his first race without no assists. So I will completely and utterly take back anything that I've just said, and I respect anybody that goes into their first race on no assists. I tried that once in League of Europe. Trust me, no assist is absolutely difficult especially when you're on a pad. Can only imagine in terms of the force feedback what it's like on a wheel when you actually progress into running no assist. But he's running around his pace with racing line, is what Primoz has said. So Primoz is saying that, and he is around my pace with racing line. Why hasn't Primoz signed up for League of Europe Division 1 next season? Bradley Holden, by the way, is on a lap. Oh, and he's actually grass mowing.
Yeah, he's Bradley Oldham just invalidated there and decided to take the scenic route around Silverstone. But Bradley Oldham, unfortunately for him, unable to get a lap together. I think the next car, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Louis Valentine.
Louis Valentine's coming through now the exit of the loop in towards Aintree. And looking quite good. There's no rain, by the way, forecast in this session. Not sure if there's rain forecast in the race either. But Louis Valentine's first sector, 27.1 is your 10th off. So he must have picked up that slipstream from Lillian through the first sector. So that might mean his middle sector and his final sector are going to be potentially quicker. As now Louis Valentine, with this set of soft compounded tyres, with the cloud building over the circuit, definitely now going to be heading towards Cup's corner. But invalidates at that was not an invalidation, surely. He did not even go off the track, and he's just picked up an invalidation for absolutely nothing. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, strange one. I mean, the track limits around Silverstone are incredibly inconsistent at times, so it's one of those ones where it's heartbreaking. I think next Monday across the line, if I'm not mistaken, is TF10 Grandpa as it comes into the Vale chicane now. So we're going to see what the German can do. Currently out on provisional pole. Can he find any more time as he comes across the line?
He
And he
does.
does.
Wow.
Oh, what a 10.
Found nearly 2.5 tenths in that final sector. Don't know what setup he's been on there in the final sector. I definitely want a piece of it, though. Fantastic, that by Max Vissel. Going quick. It's a Nico Benz there, now in second as well, which I've just realised. The Novus Racing man going into second. I think he was part of Novus Racing, indeed, in terms of Legacy Division, if I'm not mistaken, last season as well. So Nico doing a fantastic job. Daniel Kelton there in third now, ahead of Taija Hardy. Taija Hardy's through the first sector, and he's 1,500 down. Keen Goydendorp, that was furthest on that for Team Netherlands. They really need a good result coming from tonight. They really need to try and lie up a good result as well. And Keen in the middle sector, 800 down, not filling me with much confidence in terms of this lap either. But Max Vissel out on top, Nico second, Keen there back into the pit lane and validating the lap. He knows that, and Taija Hardy has crashed coming through Maggots and Beckett. Very interesting decision to crash out there, unless he invalidated or something.
Yeah,
2D
he
looks
did.
like...
I was on board.
Yeah, he invalidated. Unfortunate for him. Lillian Derbercourt as well is on a lap. He's now coming through the left-hander of Maggots and Beckett in towards Chapel. Middle sector split is a 101.6. So improving in the middle sector. This is the Lillian Derbercourt that we've come to know from WRPC Tier 1 on Sunday evenings. Now coming through the right-hander of Stowe. Is this going to be a very good lap from the Frenchman, the race clutch man, now coming in toward the final couple of corners, clutching on straws as he comes now through the final corner. Bit of a rotation, now coming through club corner on the run to the line. Lillian Derbercourt is ninth, a 1:24.548. Louis Valentin is only 2,000th of a second ahead of him. Tudi is back in the pit lane. He is backed off his lap. I think that might be apart from Hazara, who is currently on a run for Team Norway. He's coming in toward the final couple of corners, looking to try and beat a 25.4, which is definitely looks on for. Comes now through the final corner. On the run to the line comes Hazara, and he goes 14th ahead of Bradley Holden by about 200th of a second. So it's Max Vissel out on top, the former PSGL PSF1 man out on top. Nico Benz there in second, and Daniel Kelton there, two-time race winner in the last 2 weeks. There in third, with Team Netherlands as Taija Hardy and Keen Goydendorp, Mike, fourth and fifth.
Yeah, and what's cool, I mean, in the past couple of races, we started to see a few chinks in the armor for Team Netherlands. Obviously, they started off incredibly well, but the last two races haven't exactly gone their way, and it has kind of allowed the likes of Team Norway and Team France to get themselves right back into the championship conversation. And honestly, I think we are set up absolutely perfect for the start of this race now.
Definitely so. Yeah, Max Vissel has been very good in terms of his season so far. I know Nathan Richards will certainly back me up on how he's been progressing in PCF2 this season. He's done a fantastic job, and to be honest, Max there deserves to be on top. Team Germany won too, by the way, as well. Nico Benz there in second. Fantastic lap time from him. Hopefully we'll get the grid up very soon. There it is. It is Max Vissel out on top from Nico Benz, first and second. Daniel Kelton there in third, along with Taija Hardy, fourth. Keen Goydendorp there in fifth. Tudi there in sixth. Very close, actually, between all four of those guys. Bogdan Moldovan in seventh, giving Romania potentially an outside chance. Louis Valentin and Lillian Derbercourt there in ninth. Mirko Soriano, 10th. 10th. Let that just sink in. 10th. Brandnock's there in 11th. Harry Nunn's there in 12th. Patrick Dackmeyer there in 13th. Hazara 14th. Bradley Holden 15th. Then Schmidt there in 16th. Madge Krishnek there in 17th. And Julian Klappenbach, after getting disqualified for missing the pit lane and going the wrong way, he is down there in 18th position. And Fabian Marksteiner, I am sure, is going to have a hit list quite literally on his back after his comments early on in the stream. But Max Vissel out on top, Nico Benz alongside him on the grid. It's a German 1-2 in Britain. We'll be back after this lobby restart and indeed our advert from Next Level Racing. We'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, everyone, and I hope I haven't shocked you there by coming back on the stream now. Welcome back, everyone, to the European Esports Championship. We are here for round number 5, the final round, the final chapter of the European Esports Championship. It's the British Grand Prix, it's the Silverstone International Circuit, it's James Head and Michael Edwards in the commentary box alongside each other, and Team Netherlands out on top on 129 points coming into tonight. France in second on 123. Norway in third on 120. Romania fourth, 112. Italy fifth on 98. Slovenia sixth on 80. Those are the 6 nations, quite literally, could be like the rugby, 6 nations that can quite literally win the European Esports Championship here tonight. But judging by qualifying, Mike, as we get onto track, Team Germany 1 and 2 looking to upset the apple cart.
Yeah, Team Germany looking to play major spoilers in this race, obviously with a 1-2 result in qualifying, and less than a 10th separating those two. And obviously Daniel Kelson was finished in P3 in qualifying, and he was 3 attempts off of Grandpa, who took pole position.
Yeah, Max Vissel, of course, taking pole position. Nico Benz there in second. Fantastic effort, I've got to say, from everyone. And obviously, we had some shocks further down the field as well. Lilian Derbecourt there, I think, starting P9. Mirko Soriano, who I thought was probably one of the favourites for pole position. 10th position from the former F1 esports man. He's there down in 10th. I said to you off air, Mike, that Mirko Soriano will outperform his P10 in qualifying. What are your opinions of how he went in qualifying, and how do you see Team Italy coping, especially with them starting 10th and 11th?
I mean, both what's called Braddox and Mirko Soriano have the capabilities of coming through the field. The thing that I'm looking at right now is in terms of like the championship standings, and like 31 points. It is like, to me, it's a bit too much of a gap in that, because I don't necessarily see Netherlands dropping that many points in that to give them a chance in the championship. So like, it is what it is. But I'll let you take over for the start.
5 lights about to go out here for the European Esports Championship. It's game time. And it is lights out and away we go, and a fantastic start actually by both Germans. They will run alongside each other in towards turn 1, and it's Max Vissel that leads from Nico Benz second. Daniel Kelton there in third, already ahead of Tycher Hardy. Looks like he's going around the outside of Nico Benz as well. There's contact further back. I think it's to the Slovenians that'll make contact further down. Hazara there, and Julian Klaffenbach getting all eyeballs out as now comes through the left-hander of entry corner for the first time. Max Vissel leads the way. Nico Benz in second. Tycher Hardy there in third. And Daniel Kelton still running side by side with them. Down the straight, there's a bit of jockeying for position. And behind looks like Harry Nuns and Bradley Holdham were looking for positions as well, along with Lilian Derbecourt. Mirko Soriano is already up into 9th. Now up to 8th because he passes Louis Valentine around the inside line of Luffy. A fantastic effort there by the Italian. But now the Brandox and Louis Valentine are running side by side. These two have history from WR Console Tier 1. Now coming through Cups Corner, the fastest part of the track. Harry Nuns trying to get in there as well on Lilian Derbecourt, who's running all the way down the field. They're not going to go side by side with Maggots and Beckett, so there's pure suicide if they come through here. They've just about got through all clean. Harrington's recovering the car. Absolutely unbelievable racing from them all. Max Vissel leads, Nico Benz second, Daniel Kelton in third. There could have been a murder on the dance floor. If not, there was absolutely phenomenal racing there, and Harry Nuns has somehow got away with that. Absolutely scot-free.
Absolutely incredible through Maggots, Beckett, and of course through Chapel, as well as Julian Klaffenbach down the inside of Lilian into Vale and getting that position done. Lilian dropping back, but of course Lilian on a Settler hard compound tyre, so maybe explaining the early dropping positions for Lilian, just being on the slower tyre at this moment in the race.
And it lets Bradley Holdham go as well. Bradley Holdham now through, and he's into 12th position. The only man, I think, bar Louis Valentine in the field to have qualified for F1 Pro Exhibition whenever that happens. Bradley Holdham there in 12th. Julian Klaffenbach there, 13th. Bogdan Moldovan, though, side by side with Keane Goydendorp as we now come through the left-hander of Brooklands, now in toward the right-hander of Luffield, looking to try and get the move done on the back of him. You can see everyone in terms of the compound of tyre. Most going for softs, not a bad strategy to actually go on around here. Softs to hards will last you quite a long way in the race, potentially even soft mediums as well. Medium compound tyres for Louis Valentine, Mirko Soriano, Bradley Holdham and Harry Nuns. And then further down the set of hards, Lilian Derbecourt, who's absolutely shot his bolt early on those tyres. Patrick Dackmeyer, Hazara, and then Schmidt there right down at the back of the field as Bogdan Moldovan sets his sights on the two Team Netherlands coloured cars. Julian Klaffenbach, though, setting the sights on Brandox to the inside line, in towards Stowe, gets the job done. Brandox with the switch back of the century and completes the move. Brandox back, Looney's into 10th. Lovely switchback.
Yep, fantastic there from the Italian, getting back through on the Austrian there. As now, this is going to be interesting right now, because obviously, in terms of the fight between Bogdan and Kian, remember, Team Romania are still within 17 points of Team Netherlands. Obviously, you got Taito Hardy and Kian 4th and 5th, respectfully. And then, of course, you got the two Romanians in Bogdan Moldovan and Tudi in 6th and 7th. So, both have their teammates there to back them up as well, if need be.
And I think as it stands, if my quick maths is completely right, and I hope to God it is, I think Team Netherlands are currently winning the title as it stands. Because they're 4th and 5th, and because they're outscoring Romania, and because Team Norway's only got one driver in the top 10 right now, Hazara down in 17th position. Louis Valentin for Team France, only one driver there within the top 10 for them. Soriano Brandox the same for Team Italy. They're getting outscored by Team Netherlands. The Team Netherlands so far 4th and 5th position. I would tell you how many points they're on right now, but I think that's too far above my pay grade. As Max Wissel leads the way from Nico Benz 2nd, Daniel Kelton then 3rd, running down the straight. Mirko Soriano's potentially looking on the back of Louis Valentin. We love it when a Frenchman and an Italian walk intra-bar to each other. They're going to be certainly walking into 8th and 9th position as it stands. Merkel, though, right on the back of Louis Valentin, 97% of EOS, in fact a full battery, now at his disposal, looking to try and outgun the Frenchman, who of course is on PC for only the 2nd time in EEC.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's go, just a quick little update on the points of that. It was 161 points that Team Netherlands are currently on in this position. So don't worry, when it comes to math now, I can quickly get the numbers up and work it out for us all. As Mirko Soriano on the back of Louis Valentine for P8. Both of these guys on a set of the medium compound tyres, so going a little bit alternative to the rest of the drivers around them. As Mirko Soriano closes right up in towards Brooklyn's end now through left field. Needs a good exit there, but I think a small little correction there for Mirko Soriano, and that has just compromised him on the exit.
Yeah, it has compromised him on the exit. Hopefully that will put Merkel, though, on the front foot through the right-hander now, coming through Kops. But in the slipstream range of Louis Valentin, and because of that mistake, just ahead of Louis Valentin coming through Kops' corner, Merkel is now really charging at the back of the Frenchman. The Frenchman has lost all of that toll that he was getting from 2D ahead, because Mirko Soriano was so slow coming out of Magnus Beckett. They've negated each other and they will remain as they are, as Nico Benz there closing in on the back of Mr. Grandpa himself, really shoving these guys along, a bit like Colin Mason but his father in Wales. I'm not sure, I think it's Colin Mason Senior, if I'm not mistaken, probably one of the oldest Formula 1 racers out there in sim racing. Grandpa clearly acting his age right now in front. Nico Benz in 2nd. Daniel Kelton there in 3rd. Taito Hardy 4th. Keane Gordon Dorp in 5th. But Keane's under pressure, actually, from Bogdan Moldovan. Bogdan Moldovan and Keane Gordon Dorp have had history in PSGL PCF2 so far this season, as Bradley Holdham sends a one on the back of Julian Klaffenbach in the background. A shot, watch that in the background. Beautiful move by Bradley in the end to get that move done. But Bogdan and Keane have had history. 5th and 6th position. Is history going to come back and bite them, or are they going to be hoping that they can behave themselves? As Lillian on the back of Julian Klaffenbach, who spins, I think, with contact, if I'm not mistaken, with Bradley Holdham up the inside.
Yeah, I was on board with the battle towards the front. As I think Nico Benz just went a little bit too deep in towards left field, opened the door slightly there for Daniel Kelton, and Taito Hardy was getting close to the back as well. So we almost had a absolute carnage in left field, but Daniel Kelton closing right up to the back of Nico Benz now.
Definitely closing up to the right, to the back of Nico Benz, certainly, because everyone's in a big old DRS train, apart from Hazara, who's actually passing Madge there in the background. Madge, to be fair, doing a great job with no assist. Obviously being overtaken by Hazara there in 15th position, but still within touch. And if there's a safety car, he can easily be brought back into contention, as Lilian Derbercourt potentially is now the man to watch out for. He's on the back of TRT Brandox right now. Brandox there under pressure from the back of the Frenchman. The Frenchman on the back, and I thought I saw a little bit of rain potentially falling there. It's just the canvassing on the halo once again. As I said last week, I thought it was raining last week as well, but it's not. Lilian on the back there of Brandox looking to try and get the job done on this set of hard compound tyres. This is the stage of the race though, Mike, where we see Lilian on the back of Brandox and those hards definitely coming into play. As Tycher Hardy was eyeing up the move on Daniel Kelton.
Yeah, as Mirko Soriano gets the move done on Louis Valentine down in towards Brooklands as well. And yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, the tyre is now beginning to shift away from the soft compound tyres. We're starting to see the mediums and the hards come into play a little bit more. Tycho Hardy closing up to the back of Daniel Kelton here, and this will be a big move for Tycho Hardy if he can pull this off, because it really does. I mean, even though right now it is in Team Netherlands' hands, but finishing ahead of Daniel Kelton for Tycho Hardy would be a big statement end of the season.
Swap for the lead. Nico Benz going through on Max Vissel. Orders being given. Nico's going to hit the front. 84% of ERS, so it's actually not too bad for him. Max Vissel got slightly more, only about a percentage or two. But Nico said, you know what, he's going so slow out in front. He's been a grandpa, quite literally out in front. I'm going to now crack on with things and then up the pace. And Nico Benz has done exactly that. Now ups the pace and now sets his sights potentially on a P1 finish. But, of course, it's early days here in the EEC. Hope you're enjoying the stream, by the way. If you are, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. EML will be back in 3 weeks' time from this date, and that is for PSF2 qualifiers. PC qualifiers is going to be happening on, I think, the Friday before, if I'm not mistaken, or on the Sunday before. Could be wrong. I will have a look at my notes in just a second. Nico Benz, though, out on top from TFN Grandpa. Max Vissel there in second. Daniel Kelton third. Tycher Hardy fourth. And Kean Gordon Dorp there in fifth. Lap 7 out of 26. As we get Julian Klaffenbach after his damage and after his spin with Bradley Holdham. Bradley decided not to come in the pit lane. He's got no damage on that car. Julian certainly has, though. Might be giving up the goals for Team Austria, which is not what Team Austria need, especially given now Fabian Marksteiner is now a two-time curse in the stream.
Yeah, not going the way of Austria right now, and of course England slightly wounded as well with Bradley Oldham down there. I'm going to do a quick maths here. I think England right now in this position is doing enough to jump themselves ahead of Finland as I quickly get the point system so I can have a little look. And yeah, it's unfortunate. As a Welshman, it's unfortunate.
It is. Bradley Holdham, I think, is gaining 4 right now, and Harry Nuns is gaining 8. So I think it's a 12-point swing for England compared to Finland right now for the wooden spoon, which means Enlar Keki and the likes, Finland, you are going to be the wooden spoons as it stands right now of the European Esports Championship. We've got another pit stop being made. Not a bad call, actually, potentially. This could be for Sutter Hard. Bradley Holdham coming into the pit lane. Could be a white wall compound of tyre, and if it is, this is going to be to the end of the race for Bradley Holdham. Comes in, set a white wall compound of tyre. He was about 1.3 seconds behind everyone else in terms of the vanguard, but Bradley Holdham there, being off that gap, the undercut is so powerful around here, and I said this in PSF1 comms, and I will do, of course, on Monday when Britain comes up there as well. Bradley Holdham decides to cut the pit lane exit coming out of the pit lane. So maybe those points for Team England's way, because he's just clearly cut the pit lane exit thinking we're not going to be on board with him. Bradley Holdham's done that. He's gained time. That's going to give him a big advantage as well. As I say, undercut's about 4 seconds around here in terms of the undercut. So Bradley Holdham, just because he's cut the pit lane exit there, that's probably going to be more towards 5 seconds now.
Disgraceful behaviour, I can't believe it. As Lillian gets through on Brandox there for P10. So the Frenchman starting to come through and up the order as now we're getting into the top 10. So Lillian's starting to make a few moves now.
Yeah, definitely beginning to make a few moves indeed. On that sort of hard compound of tyres, he's going to be coming into play. But he's going to hit a wall immediately because Mirko Soriano and Louis Valentine will probably be on the same tyre wear as him right now. and they're probably running around the same pace as him right now as well. So Louis Valentine and Mirko Soriano, Lillian will be hoping for them just to try and gain on the back of the likes of Tudi, on the likes of Bogdan Moldovan, and then just sit there and wait, because Lillian is going to be making ground on those set of hards, but it's not going to be immediate. It's not going to be absolute click of your fingers and he's there, unless, obviously, things happen. But Lillian there in 10th. On the back of Louis Valentine, on the back of Mirko Soriano. Mirko Soriano, as a result, has up the pace. He's on the back of Tudi now, 0.3 of a second off him. But it looks like potentially we could get a change up for the lead very soon indeed, because Nico Benz is under pressure, not only from his own teammate Max Vissel, but also from Daniel Kelton, who is just sitting there like a silent Norwegian assassin right now. Is Daniel Kelton, the Veloce Academy man, running down the straight in toward the right hand. There's a yellow flag into the pit lane. That's Julian Klaffenbach there retiring in the pit, so no safety car VSC going to be deployed for that. But Nico Benz hanging on to the lead, Max Vissel second, Daniel Kelton in third. But if I'm there, sitting right now in the position of these drivers, Daniel Kelton is the man I'd want to be right now. He's there in third, in the best seat in the house. Yes, he's just made a mistake coming out of club corner. We can forget about that, but the Veloce Academy man could be making this 3 out of 3.
Potentially, he's in a fantastic position right now. This is all going to come down to the pit stop window and for these guys, and whether or not any of these guys are teammates with each other in the pit lane, because that could really absolutely destroy the races if they are.
May saying in the chat, Daniel potentially should box. I don't think he should. I think one of the Team German drivers are going to have to come in. And if I was a betting man, and I normally am sometimes, I think Max Vissel comes into the pit lane first and not Nico. Nico's is the man ahead. But Max is quicker, I think, than Nico. And I think pace over anything, especially when you've got Bradley Holdham on that set of hards, remember. Potentially we could see Bradley Holdham jumping all of these guys the further these guys go into the race. So if I was them, I'd come into the pit lane, but I think they're waiting out, honestly, for the set of mediums. The mediums are only going to come on from around about lap 12, lap 13, so they've still got a little bit way to go. And now Max Vissel's going to set his sights on Nico and say, you know what? Go away. You're not setting the pace for me. Daniel Kelton now trying to go to the inside line for Team Norway. Nico Benz going to be bullied out of the position. Max Vissel leads, and he does exactly what they're doing. Into the pit lane they come, and I think they've realised they're actually not sharing the same pit box, because of course it's F1 World Cars. You don't share the same pit box with your teammate, and that is because that is now Max Vissel and the likes into the pit lane from a set of softs, and clearly not backing up what I said a little bit earlier on.
Well, for the looks of it, I'm trying to look around to see if we got any double stackers there. I think everyone is just oh, I think we have got a double stack. I think that's Tudi again, double stacked.
Tudi, and I think that's Nico Benz, if I'm not mistaken. You might have double stacked with. Nico Benz has came out ahead of Taija Hardy. He's came out behind Max Vissel, which is ideal. But Tudi now, look at where Brandox is. Look at where Bradley Holdham is. Bradley Holdham must have made a mistake, because I think he would have been right up here. But Brandox certainly is. He's now in the fight. He's on the back of Bogdan Moldovan. Came out ahead of TF10 Tudi as well by an absolute mile. And there the Slovenian driver Schmidt trying to get under pressure from Kian Gordendorp. Kian says, you know what, you're a Team Slovenian man. Boss, you're my man, and I'm going to take you for the race win, potentially. Bogdan Moldovan now on the back of him as well. Slovenian man on those tyres cannot fight at all. Bogdan Moldovan through, and he's into 12th. And Brandox now going around the outside of Luffield. I know he's on a fresh set of compound tyre. I love to see him move around the outside of there. And Brandox has completed that move. Very neatly done. He's in 13th. And they don't have to worry a single thing about traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. As Daniel Kelson now into the pit lane himself for Team Norway. How much time did Daniel lose by staying out that one extra lap?
I think in the whole grand scheme of things, he'll be behind Kian Goydendorp, is what I'm going to say. Around Bogdan Moldovan, Kian, Brandox, that sort of area. I think he'll probably lose about a second and a half in terms of the lap time to lap time. So Daniel Kelton, coming out of the pit lane, where are the runners? They're coming now through the exit of Vale Chicane in towards Club Corner. So this is going to be closer than what one might expect. Daniel Kelton actually could still get out in front of you. I think he won't. But Daniel Kelton, coming out the pit lane, he is going to be exactly where I said he would be. Coming out the pit lane, there's Kian Gordendorp, there's Bogdan Moldovan. Thank you very much. Mystic James strikes again.
Yeah, unfortunately for Daniel Kelton now having a lot of work to do if wants to try and get as maximum points as possible for Team Norway here. Both Team Netherlands drivers to overtake, both Team Germany drivers to overtake, and obviously the Romanian driver of Bogdan Moldovan ahead.
Yeah, and obviously with the standings and everything out of the consideration in this race, if you just take it from what's actually happening out on track, we're going to be in for an absolute thrilling second half of the race. The roll call currently is as follows. Louis Valentin now leading the way from Lilian Derbercourt. He gets past Merkel Soriano. I think Merkel then will be in the pit lane. In fact, he continues on. So Merkel continues on. Lilian there continuing on along with Louis Valentin. They're first, second and third. Harry Nunn's there in full, staying in contention in terms of that battle. Then it's Cesara in fifth. Patrick Darkmeyer there in sixth. Dachmeyer even there in sixth. Nico Benz now in seventh, ahead of Max Wissel. Gets the job done on him. They're going to try and force each other in terms of the pace. Taicha Hardy there in ninth. Kian Goydendorp there even in 10th. Unless he wants to be called Gian Koidendorf or whatever I'm trying to go with. Louis Valentine, Marcus Soriano and Lilian Derbercourt, by the way, having a right old scrap. Coming now down the Wellington straight, had a right old banging of wheels, I think that was, on the mini-map, coming through the village and loop section of the track. But nicely done from them. Then we've got Bogdan Moldovan in 11, Daniel Kelson 12, TRT Brandox in 13, Smith there in 14, 2D 15, Bradley Holdham 16, and Madge there right down and back of the field, running as no assist for the first time, down in 17th position. Just how many of you in the chat would run no assist on your first race in EEC? Let us know in the comment section.
Someone did try. Someone else did try running no assists. It's not fun.
It isn't. It's not fun. Trust me. Stick to assist, stick to pad, and stick to trying to beat Major Falcon's arse in League of Europe Division 4. Or Division 3 even this season it will be.
Well,
Silence speaks for itself.
Yep, I mean, I have no words. I have no words.
Well,
the shame.
Threat has been given, and threat also given by Taicha Hardy to the inside line on the back of both Germans. Going to get one, not going to get the other though. Max Wissel now leads in the net lead of the race. Taicha Hardy second, Nico Benz there in third, but Nico tries to look to the outside line, trying to skirm that German-coloured car around the outside of the Dutch-coloured car. Of course, these two's neighbours in terms of the whole geography of things, but German leads the way from the Dutch, leads the way from a German, leads the way from the Dutch. Where have we seen this one before?
It is absolutely checkerboard right now between the Team Germany and Team Netherlands drivers. Of course, in 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th respectively. But, I mean, right now, Team Netherlands in prime position to take the European Esports Championship.
They are in prime position, and even more in prime position, because there goes Taicha Hardy to the inside on Max Wissel. These two old stalwarts of PSGL, PSF1 going at it, but Nico Benz now getting on the fact as well. And now the former Xbox man getting involved on the PC side. He's saying to Taicha Hardy, "You're not having that, my friend." But he does have that. Taicha Hardy remains in that net second position right now. Nico Benz, though, is going to absolutely hang the back of the Dutch car just in front of Taicha Hardy. Max Wissel, though, under pressure, managing that very well indeed. Marcus Soriano now leads. Lilian Derbercourt second, Louis Valentin in third. They're going to be completely out of it in terms of the whole complexion of this race and how it's changing. Taicha Hardy now going for the race lead. There goes Max Wissel around the outside as well on Nico Benz. Is he going to try and get bended like Beckham? King Goydendorp there on the back as well. Side by side, round the outside in toward Luffield. Round the outside even in toward Valen Club. Going to be brilliant if he can pull this one off. Watch out for Bogdan Moldovan in all of this as well. Absolutely fisting racing here out on track. And yes, I did say fisting. Marcus Soriano leads, Lilian Derbercourt second, Louis Valentin in third. This race is absolutely like a humdinger as now Bogdan Moldovan, look at Daniel Kelton. Daniel Kelton to the inside line. The Team Norway man to the inside line. Does he get Bogdan Moldovan? Just about. They're side by side, wheels apart, running down the Wellington straight. And now Daniel Kelton looks to the inside line, still on Bogdan Moldovan. Surely got to let this one go. He does. Daniel Kelton through, and he's into 11th. Bogdan Moldovan there in 12th. Phenomenal series of racing.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Daniel Kelton just completely
Oh,
up.
safety car.
Safety car.
Mad just crashed coming through the left-hander of Aintree, that is. At the left-hander of Aintree, he's got, I think, 2 trigger-happy potentially on the throttle. What this does, though, Mike, spices everything up. Mirko Soriano, Lillian Derbicourt, Louis Valentine, Harry Nuns, Hazara, and Patrick Dackmeyer. I think, certainly from the front 4 perspective, all saved.
Absolutely, and of course, they'll be going on to a quicker compound tyre than what's called Taicho Hardy, Grandpa Nico Benz, Kian Goydam, Daniel Kelton, and obviously Bogdan Moldovan as well. This is literally, it's going to bring Team France into it now. It's going to bring Team Italy into it now.
No! Louis Valentine, I think, has been double stacked by Mirko Soriano. Everyone's going to come in for a set of soft compound tyres. Lillian Derbicourt's now second, and Max Wissel has got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Taicho Hardy. I was too busy looking at Mirko Soriano on that double stack to see that, but Taicho Hardy is now ahead of Max Wissel into the pit lane. Another 5-second pit lane for Smith there coming into the pits, picking up a 5-second penalty. But Taicho Hardy, 5-second penalty added to his time at the end of the race. I think it's Max Wissel, in fact, that might be the case. But absolute drama under the pit stops. Mirko Soriano now leads, leading Derbicourt second. Who would have thought Harry Nuns would be in third? This race has changed complexion entirely.
Well, quick little update for everyone in the chat right now. As it currently stands, Team France are leading the championship.
By how many points? How many points?
So that's a second and third for them. Let me just
second
do
and
some
fourth.
quick maths.
Second and fourth.
Yeah, second and fourth. My apologies. That is 42 points gained for Team France and 7th and 9th. 24 gained for them. So
18.
18 point swing, and of course they lead by 12 points at the moment.
And that is a reminder, by the way, of the standings coming into tonight as well. Netherlands leading the way, 129 points. Double Avatar, by the way, has just joined, so this is perfect timing for a standings update. Netherlands out on top on 129. France in second on 123. Norway third on 120. Romania fourth on 112. Italy fifth on 98. Slovenia sixth on 80. Germany 7th on 70. Germany, of course, out of it. It only concerns the top 6 teams. Austria there in 8th on 38. Finland 9th on 31. And England, thanks to Harry Nuns now, going to be outdoing Finland in terms of 9th position. 23 points to their name compared to Finland on 31. Harry Nuns is picking up 20 points as it stands. So that is enough of a swing for them to get ahead of England. And maybe even the case, if Smith there picks up a penalty, I think they're going to outdo Austria potentially here as well. If we cut back to the on-track action, Mirko Soriano now leads, Lillian Derbicourt in second, Harry Nuns there in third. We'll remind Mike what I said behind the scenes. What is it that I said about Mirko Soriano?
Much better in the race than in qualifying.
Exactly, and look where he is, he's in P1. It's a plan, It's a plan. I have everything covered.
Well, one thing that isn't covered, of course, is Taicho Hardy with a 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, definitely. It will be huge. It will definitely be huge. There is the penalties, by the way, as we've seen. Max Wissel also picked up a 5-second penalty as well. So they both picked up a 5-second penalty for that incident to come in the pit. So the game obviously felt, oh, we'll just punish them both. We'll give them a 5-second penalty. And that might mean, potentially, Mike, in terms of the stewarding for EEC, that might be their job already covered because they've both been given a 5-second penalty. Unless there's another safety car, they can't serve that up, and they don't have to serve that up, of course, by all means. But they're on that 5-second worth of penalties. Smith there's got 3 seconds just because he's corner cut under the safety car. But Taicho Hardy and Grandpa having 5 seconds worth of penalties. Interesting complexion, certainly from the stewards to try and ponder, especially if that does get investigated.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets reported, obviously they have to review the footage from both drivers to find out who is at fault for it, and maybe there might be 5-second time penalty removals. I mean, we don't know, but we will be interested in finding out as the safety car is in this lap.
Yeah, and Madge, by the way, for Avatar, for the benefit of him just joining from PSL PCF1, Madge, they're down in 17th position. He was the one that crashed coming through at turn 5 at Aintree. Very weird position to lose it, actually, but he's got caught on the outside curve. Seen a little bit of POV getting uploaded. He's looked at that on the left-hand side, got caught on the right-hand side curve, spun the car. He's first race with no assists, and he's done that, and he's caused that safety car. So unfortunate for him, but safety car now goes, and Mirko Soriano now goes. Brilliant restart from him. Already got Lillian Derbercourt there on the back foot. Now coming into the right-hand reveal chicane and now towards Club Corner for the 17th time. Mirko Soriano leads, and he's burst away from the Frenchman in behind. The race clutch man trying to clutch on the coattails, quite literally, of Mirko Soriano in front. Harrington's there in third, Louis Valentine in fourth, Hazara there in fifth, Patrick Dackmeyer under pressure already from Tyja Hardy. Bogdan Moldovan looking to the inside line as well on the back of Kean Gordon. Very, very clean restart, very easy restart, and there's Tyja Hardy as soon as I say that, up the inside of Patrick Dackmeyer for sixth.
At the same time, Daniel Kelton getting through on Braddock's as well. Up into P11 goes the Norwegian as he's trying to make his way up the order as well to give Team Norway a chance. Of course, Zara up there in P5 right now. So there's still a possibility for Team Norway as Nico Benz gets through on Patrick.
King Gordon makes it 3 wide and gets them both coming through World Cup. Fantastic opportunism there by the Team Netherlands, man. Team Netherlands need every single point they can get right now with France outscoring them. Tycho Hardy there into sixth. Side by side as we go in towards Maggots and Beckett between Bogdan and Patrick. Not going to go side by side through there, unlike lap 1. Tycho Hardy, though, Thurney's into sixth. Great opportunism from his teammate in behind. Kean Gordondorp there in seventh. And now, potentially side by side with Tycho on the back of Azara into the right-hander of Stowe. Not going to get that one done, but Max Vissel is on the back of Brandox to the inside line in towards Stowe. Brandox, though, on those fresher compounder tyres, hangs it around the outside. Max Vissel switches back to the inner. He's been in this position before, up the inside in towards Bale Club, but he gets outdone by a wild Italian. And Brandox is back there and he's into 12th. And now Tooney joining on the action as well as Max Vissel just about hangs on.
Yeah, it is absolutely kicked off as Tycho Hardy sends one down the inside of Azara. Runs deep though, so Azara's coming back and a little bit of contact made between the pairs. They're getting stuck on each other. That might allow Kian to come through as Kian on the inside of Azara here. But Azara's able to trying to go away into the wall. And that is Kian out of this race.
VSC! It's a VSC as well. It's not a full safety car. Out of all of that, Hazara, I took it from Hazara's perspective, so I didn't see what happened there on board with Kian. But they've gone, now it's a full safety car. Full safety car deployed out on track. Hazara there and Kian Gordondorp. The way that Kian got a run, he almost got Hazara coming out. Hazara's then tried to come out of the box, eventually, in terms of the Team Netherlands driver. Tycho Hardy made that mistake, obviously, forced himself wide. Hazara then tried to get out of the box. And if it wasn't for Hazara trying to get out of the box, I think they could have got away with that completely scot-free. Hazara, though, I honestly think, just from my perspective, obviously we didn't catch it on board with Kian's perspective. You might have a better perspective of this, though, Mike. Hazara, for me, just coming out of that box, I think has caused that one.
Yeah, I was quite able to quickly rewind back and review the footage again. So I am going to be checking my instant replays by you. So we'll get that footage. But yeah, it looked like he just tried to get himself out of the box.
Yeah, I think that's the case. And obviously, Tycho Hardy, we know how aggressive he can be in his racing. He's done that plenty of times around here before. Even in EML back in the day when he was part of IFR, I vividly remember him being very, very aggressive towards drivers that were getting in this way. And he's done exactly what he has done there. It's a trait that he carries throughout his sim racing career. He's never going to get rid of that trait. Even in real life, if he takes up real life racing, he will never get rid of that trait either. But Tycho Hardy there in fifth. He is a man. He's there in fifth. Obviously, that will go down as an investigation. But Hazara, I think, potentially the one to blame there. Which is a shame because Hazara was running very well. Yes, albeit a little bit lucky with the safety car. But it's actually now brought Daniel Kelton potentially back into play there in 8th. So it's actually not all doom and gloom. And Hazara, of course, is still in this race, unlike Kian.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this does put Team Netherlands in a horrible position in terms of the championship because obviously Kian out of this race, they only got one driver remaining. and Taicho has a 5-second time penalty still to be applied as a safety car with very few laps remaining.
Well, yeah, with very, very few laps remaining, it's going to be interesting. And Max Vissel, by the way, just seen on, I've just seen he must be streaming right now as Max Vissel. He's there on OBS, streaming, setting pole position, and then he's put up on X as it now is, adjusted too much aero grip. So clearly not happy with that setup, but with him having too much aero grip apparently, it got him that pole position, and he's there currently, all the way down in 13th position, so maybe that aero grip is not suiting him well in terms of the race.
Yeah, and that's the thing, obviously, for the drivers at this caliber, obviously they're always tinkering with their setups, trying to get the best out of the car, and sometimes they tinker just a little bit too much, like Pep Guardiola with Manchester City. Tinkers just a little bit too much.
Oh, there's something going on into the pit lane. Oh, Patrick Dackmeyer and Brannox are in, so that's why there was loads of changes of position going on there. Lap 21 out of 26 beginning. Mirko Soriano leading the way race from Lilian Derbicourt in second, Harry Nuns in third, Louis Valentin there in fourth. Good result, good payday coming, it seems, for Team France right now. Taicho Hardy fifth, Nico Benz there in sixth, then Bogdan Moldovan, Daniel Kelton, Bradley Holdham and TF10 Tudi run off the top 10. Then it's Max Vissel in 11th, Smith there in 12th with Hazara 13th, Brandox 14th. Patrick Dackmeyer also wins the battle along with Brandox, both of them. Interestingly, Brandox, I think, has got no soft compounded tyre left, so he's coming on to a set of mediums. Not going to be suiting them well to the end of the race. Patrick Dackmeyer, he's got a fresh set of softs. He's definitely on that fresh set of softs as he comes out of the pit lane as well. Let me know, though, in the comment section right now, who you think is going to win this race. I didn't put a prediction in, albeit I did, secretly, behind the scenes with Mike, and I did say the man currently in P1 would win.
And I can confirm that he did say that behind the scenes.
Which, if that is the case, you may as well just try and... Yeah, you may as well just ask me for the lottery numbers, I think, at this stage.
Well, I can confirm, as it stands right now, and this will be good for the Team England fans in the chat. Team England right now will finish 8th in the standings if it stays as it is.
Even with Romania outscoring with Bogdan and Tudi?
England,
yeah, they're outscoring. I'm stupid. I'm absolutely stupid. Harry Nuns there is in third. And obviously their other driver, Bradley Holdham's in ninth. I'm absolutely oblivious, as you can tell. I'm also oblivious that the safety car is coming in this lap as well. Mirko Soriano is now the virtual Bert Malander. He's now the virtual safety car. Lilian Derbicourt's going to try and be right on his coattails. But if I was in Mirko Soriano's shoes, you can already tell what he is going to do. He's going to go pedal to the metal, foot to the floor, coming out of Stowe Corner. It may even be before Stowe Corner, but he's backing up so slowly. He's going to go, possibly on the exit of Stowe, I would imagine. Now he goes. There we go. Mirko Soriano has already gone, puts him to the sword, but he's done that, and Lilian Derbicourt this time is staying with him. So this is going to be interesting. Down in toward Valen Clarboy, nearly goes deep there, the Frenchman, on the brakes, puts Mirko Soriano now at 5/6 of a second away. Coming now through Club Corner, Mirko leads from Lilian in second, Harry there in third, Louis Valentin in fourth, under pressure from his PSF1 rival in Taicho Hardy back in the day. They're now going to go side by side through Village, into now the Village section of the track. Taicho Hardy up the inside line, gets the job done. Louis Valentin caught napping. Nico Benz now trying to catch the napping Louis Valentin around the outside. He gets the job done as well. Bogdan Moldovan now on the back of Louis Valentin. Could be 3 positions lost in the space of a matter of corners. Bogdan on the back of Louis Valentin. Can't find the job done. Nico Benz, though, around the outside of Taicho Hardy. Into the inside now of Lovefield, trying to find the way through. The Germans against the Dutch. The Dutch and the Germans traditionally get on well with each other. They're hating each other right now. In towards Woodcote, and Taicho Hardy just about hangs on.
Nico Benz absolutely being very optimistic there into the loop, and of course then down the Weldon Straight looking for the move on Taicho Hardy. Absolutely incredible stuff from the German, definitely showing the pace, and of course around Britain, was a big snap there for Nico Benz, so that might allow Louis Valentin and Bogdan Moldovan to get into the fray here. But what I was going to say, I mean, it is very typical here for the British Grand Prix that the Germans are coming to play.
The Romanians are coming to play as well, because look at this, 2D to the inside line, might get 2, Daniel Kelton there caught in a bit of a box, Bradley Holden there on the inside line as well, 2D just about gets away with that scot-free, Max Vissel joining on the act as well, and we could get a scenario where we get the Germans and England side by side as well. This will be interesting, 2D and Max Vissel in the meantime, side by side with Bradley Holden, into all the village section once again. Daniel Kelton trying to look for the move there on the back of Bogdan Moldovan. There goes Bradley to the inside line on the back of Daniel. Very aggressive, very fair move in the end. Daniel Kelton hangs on. Smith there on the back of Azara. Everything kicking off. Mirko Soriano leads. Lilian Derbacourt second. Harry Nunn's there in third. This race is kicking off big time, and we still could get, Mike, the Germans against the English.
Yeah, it is 66 all over again. It is absolutely fantastic. The Germans and the English going at it. Is that
Max Vissel? Here he comes. Side by side, coming through Corps. Yes, he's run wide. We'll give him that one, though. Max Vissel through, and he's into 10th now. Hazara side by side with 2D. Lovely move, that is. Just before Maggots, actually. Hazara through, and he's into 11th. And now we're going to get the English against the Germans. This is going to be interesting. Max Vissel's on much fresher tyres, by the way, as well. Carving his way through the field like a carving thing, like a carving knife on a steak. As Lilian Derbacourt's run off wide with Mirko Soriano. They're now battling for the race lead. Oh, Lily Neely moves across on him. Mirko Soriano just about holds on. And Harry Nuns is there to wipe up anything that might happen in front.
Honestly, with the way this is going, Harry Nunn's right now in a brilliant position because everyone's getting their elbows out. As long as he can keep it clean, he could take a home Grand Prix victory for Team England here.
He could, which I'll be absolutely ruining for. Quite literally, in terms of the stream, Max Vissel there on the back of Bradley Holden. These two have had history as well back in the day, but now, is he going to let it go? German against Brits. This is what we all paid to see. This is all what we all want. Bradley Holden and Max Vissel side by side down the straight. Is the Germans going to come out on top of the English and get revenge from 1966? Bradley Holden says, you know what? No, 1966 is our honour. But in the end, Max Vissel gets one up on Bradley Holden.
Yeah, unfortunately, Team England's Bradley Holden there dropping down into P9 as Max Vissel gets up into P8. And right now, I mean, obviously, will it be coming home or will it be coming Rome or will it be coming to Paris? That's the big question right now at the front of the field.
Could be going back to Amsterdam even as well. Toucher Hardy's right on the back of Harry Nuns. Max Vissel is carving his way through the field, though. Quite literally carving his way through the field. Absolutely unbelievably. Avatar might have this right completely in the chat. He's right on the back there of Louis Valentin. 6th and 7th position. Already, look at all of this. The gaggle of cars that's in front. And Max Vissel is around about 1.2 seconds off the race lead right now. If he wins this, it'll be absolutely a miracle if he can. Patrick Dackmeyer won't, though. He's spun. Coming through Valen Club. Toucher Hardy to the inside and Harry Nuns. The Dutch and the English hate each other, quite literally. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen-esque, even though I bought the Max Verstappen biography earlier on. Toucher Hardy, though, on the back of Harry Nuns. Nico Benz potentially getting involved in this, and there goes Max Vissel, that man again, on the back of Louis Valentin, disposing of him very easily indeed. Max Vissel carving his way through the field into 6th. All hell about to break loose on the final couple of laps, Mike. Max Vissel, I'm not even counting him out of this right now.
I'm not counting anyone out of the top 8 out of this at the moment, but we got Taito Hardy getting through on Harry Nuns there for the final podium position. So the Team Netherlands man getting through on Team England. And we got Nico Benz, the German, in the back. So once again, England versus Germany.
England versus Germany round 2. Could it be one up for the Brits potentially here? Harry Nuns on the back of Taito Hardy. Taito Hardy, though, on the back of Mirko Soriano, looking for second position. Side by side he goes. 3 wide they go in towards Stowe. Lilian Derbacourt completely napping. Taito Hardy now takes the race lead, but for how long? Lilian Derbacourt's now making it 3 wide down in towards Valen Club. This will not end well if they keep it up like this. Lilian and Mirko Soriano side by side. Just about coming through. Absolute hell for leather. And there through goes Max Vissel. Max Vissel through and he's into 4th. Gets Nico Benz. Gets Harry Nuns. The Germans looking absolutely washed compared to the Brits. 4th and 5th. Nico Benz there in 6th. Max Vissel is carving his way through the field. And he's still in contention of the race win. This is a marvellous drive if you can keep this up.
Yeah, and at the same time as well, we saw Let's go Nico Benz and Harry Nunn side by side throughout the entirety of that final sector. And my God, it has absolutely kicked off and my controller's died. That's how much it's kicked off, my controller's died.
This is for pride, this is for honour, and there goes Daniel Kelton, the silent Norwegian assassin, to the inside line. On the back of Nico Benz, now going to run side by side in towards Cops. This is not all over and done with yet. If you think the result is going to remain as it is, it's not. Mirko Soriano on the back of Tycho Hardy. Lilian Dovercourt is involved in this for the race win. Max Vissel is. Could concern the front four. Nico Benz, not entirely out of this either. They come through Maggots and Beckett's for the final time. Tycho Hardy now drags on the EOS, the remaining amount of EOS that he's got. Now vulnerable to Mirko Soriano. Goes around the outside of the Italian. The Frenchman are leading Dovercourt, trying to go around the outside as well. But Mirko leads the way in towards Valen Club. Max Vissel again, trying to go side by side with Tycho Hardy. Can't. Mirko Soriano now into the final corner. There's contact further down the field. Tycho Hardy having to cut across the track. But Mirko Soriano takes the race win in Britain. Lilian Dovercourt second, Max Vissel in third, and Tycho Hardy all the way down in ninth. And I think, I don't even know what the result is right now, but I think France have got it.
Yeah, France were only 6 points behind Team Netherlands, and I believe both of the French drivers outscored everyone behind them, and also outscored Team Netherlands as well due to Kian DNFing from the race. So yeah, I think Team France have won it.
You wouldn't think, by the way, that I said at the start of the stream, I've got a sore throat and I could be coming down with flu, and I've just gone through 26 laps of that. But phenomenal racing, even more phenomenal that we've got the same livery in terms of the race suits, in terms of the top three. But fantastic win in the end. Mirko Soriano holding that pressure, holding that nerve in the end, taking the race win. The standards of driving might have not been there. One more lap, though, in the end for Max Vissel could have ended up him winning the race. In the end, not quite. In the end, Mirko Soriano, you may as well put me potentially in the Hall of Fame as the lottery maker right now. Mirko Soriano, fastest lap of the race, P10 on the grid. I know he got lucky, but I'm taking that. It's a W for me. It's a W for Mirko Soriano. Takes the race win. Lilian Dovercourt in second. Max Vissel in third. Very, very unlucky. One more lap, it would have been different. Nico Benz in fourth. Daniel Kelton there in fifth. Harry Nunn's hanging on for sixth as well. Phenomenal effort for him and for Team England, outdoing France and in Finland and indeed England as well. Louis Valentine 7th, Bogdan Moldovan 8th, Tycho Hardy 9th, Smith there in 10th. How's he 10th out of all of that as well? Tudi Hazara, Brandox, Patrick Dackmeyer, Bradley Holden top 15, and then we had Kian and the rest further down the field, Madge and Julian Klaffenbach with 2 DNFs as well. Oh my God. What an end to that race. What an end to the European Esports Championship. We'll get it confirmed in the meantime. I'm sure there will be reports upon reports upon reports, Spike. But for now, I think we can say Team France have won this.
Yeah, I think, yeah, absolutely. Team France won it. I believe a second and a fourth place for Team France in the end. And what a way to end the European Esports Championship. So many nations going toe-to-toe. We had England versus Germany, the old battle kicking off as it usually does. We had France and Italy going toe-to-toe with each other as well. We had Netherlands getting in there as well. We had Romania in there. It was absolutely incredible.
And I think, honestly, if we didn't get that safety car, the race wouldn't have been 10 times as more tense and 10 times as more nerve-wracking as what we had there. But if we didn't have that safety car, I think it still would have been a very, very good race ending. Certainly, Max Vissel would have been up there, the likes of Daniel Kelton would have been up there, the traditional ones would have been up there as well. Keane Gordon up and Azara would have been up there, I'm sure of it as well. But in the end, only one can come out on top, and it's Mirko Soriano. That comes out on top. And I'm looking very smug in this commentary box right now because I was the man who predicted him for the race win. And you might think of me like an absolute mug. I'm not. Do not treat me like a mug, but because put it this way, if I can get a prediction like that right, you may as well call me up for the lottery numbers and call me up for every bit of good luck that you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. And At the same time, I am just putting a comment in the chat right now, and that's how I'm feeling right now.
Hang on, what have you put? Hang on. Heartbroken that England didn't get the wooden spoon. Now, they might do. They might do. Eurovision's coming up and all of that this year. Euros might get the wooden spoon there.
You never know.
You never know. You never know. But you never know what we've got coming up for you as well, because sign-ups are still open for Esports Masters League. There you can see on your screen right now the calendar for what is to come. On the PS side, we'll run through the PC calendar side very, very shortly indeed. I think there's been a change up in terms of the date, if I'm not mistaken, for the PC side. But F2 at 7 p.m, F1 at 8 p.m. Myself and Mike are going to be potentially on F1 together. F2 will be determined, I'm absolutely sure. But never. We're back in Britain in what, 3 weeks' time, I think it is now, Mike, for Silverstone for qualifiers for F2, because F1, of course, has already been decided. Can't reveal the teams or anything right now, but qualifiers in 3 weeks' time. Esports Masters League, PS side and PC side. What has the viewers got to look forward to, especially for first time viewer like Joe in the chat?
Well, Esports Master League is always a absolutely incredible team championship for any team to get involved in. So if you are part of a PS or a PC team, make sure you get yourselves involved. Sign up, qualifiers, as you can see on the 7th of February at Silverstone. We are going to be back then, and of course, lap times, they're going to be incredibly close, as it always is in the Esports Masters League.
Yeah, and for PC side as well, 3 days early, of course, it is on the Sunday at 7 p.m. So it is going to clash with WR console at WR PC Tier 1, even, which is not too bad because we haven't got as many as what we have got for PS right now in terms of sign up. For PC, I can confirm the likes of CPI Esports have signed up, Team Shazoo, NLR Esports, Formula Racing Claret Esports as well, who were part of the Legacy Division this season. They are part of that ABS Racing team. Very, very good team, I've got to say, for PC. Looking forward to seeing how they get on. And then a brand new team, and I am definitely going to try and butcher this pronunciation by saying this, the Denizbank Istanbul Wildcats. Sounds like a basketball team in the Turkish Championship for basketball, but they're not. They're a championship team for PC, and they are in there as a signed up grid as well. And for PS, by the way, if you want any further fuel adding to the fire, Team Shazoo are also in there, G League, NLR Esports, Team TF10, ET8 Esports, IRT, CPI. I could go on and on. I probably will. Team ESRL, LDL. Big names, big teams, big ambitions, and a prize pool, of course, for this next season as well. And the prize pool, I will guarantee you, is going to be worth fighting for, especially because Next Level Racing are going to be promoted all once again, which is going to be very, very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, if it couldn't get any better, you get to hear Mr. James Head. You get to hear myself, Michael Edwards. What more could you want?
What more could you want? I mean, I will be a lot better sounding compared to what I was tonight, but I can promise you at least Esports Masters League will be in safe and capable hands going forward as well. I really hope you enjoyed, though, the European Esports Championship. Something different, something to try and spice things up, representing the country. Yes, we might have not got the likes of Thomas Ronhar and the likes in all of those famous names from esports, but we had good quality racing throughout. I really hope you enjoyed it. First time we've ever done this. Let us know, quite literally, in terms of proactive feedback, what you thought of it as well. Whether we'll be running this again as well. That will be determined. Probably not on this game. Probably will be on the next game, however, as something different. And yeah, I think it went overall really well. And Team France, in the end, taking the victory. So all we can say, I think, to end off the stream, Mike, is Allez le bleu.
I would not want to butcher the French language by trying it myself, but yeah, absolutely. Massive congratulations to Team France. Incredible of them over the course of the season. Obviously, commiserations to the Dutch team, Team Netherlands as well. Also, they've done fantastic over the course of this season. Same with Italy and of course Norway as well. Pretty much every single nation involved represented the nation very proudly, and I think I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think every single nation potentially has picked up a podium.
That's clutching at straws. Hang on, I'm gonna have a look at this.
Yeah, I'm fact checking. I'm fact checking it.
You are fact checking it. Finland haven't. Finland haven't.
Ah,
Pe- pe-
unfortunately, Finland didn't.
pesky Finns. It's always the Finns, isn't it? Terrible.
Mm,
Keki, we're looking at you.
Sweden would have.
Sweden would have. Any Scandinavian. Well, Norway did. They picked up, what, 2 podiums and 2 wins this season, thanks to Daniel Kelton. But in all seriousness, I really hope you did enjoy the stream. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. We are going to be seeing you in 3 weeks' time for Esports Masters League. Until then, you'll be seeing me doing the rounds of Legacy Division, PSF1 as well for PSGL. I'm lead commentating that, by the way, on Monday, so you can come and show me a lot of love. I'm not sure who's alongside me in the commentary box for that, but I believe I've been told, well, I haven't been told who's alongside me, but off the inkling that I got, it may be Evan Dalton that is alongside me in the commentary box for that one. Unless Mike wants to value his services for PSF1.
I wouldn't mind if I do get the call up, but I do believe also that I think there's not the streamer for F4, so we'd have to get a replacement streamer for F4 if I stepped up.
Yeah, which, unfortunately, if that is the case, then F5, F6 are going to be wanting to stream as well, and they're going to be found wanting if you are stepping up all the way to F1. But that'll be decided, of course, before Monday, I'm sure. I'll be there on Monday, though, for PSF1. Legacy Division on Tuesday as well. And then we've got nothing on Wednesdays. We're going to be lost without Wednesdays. I know PC Tier 1's on for PSGL, so you can go and show some love there as well as the smaller leagues that you might be a part of as well. We're waffling on. The Traitors awaits me. Thank you so much for watching. And a big thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Next Level Racing and indeed Rising Lions as well. I haven't got the hat on me. I was going to show the hat and wear it, but I haven't got the hat on me. That is terrible. Anyways, just with me not making a fool of myself, we're going to end off the stream here. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.